After 40, belly fat becomes the most common and frustrating problem for both men and women. It settles deep around the waist and abdomen, forming what doctors call visceral fat. Unlike the fat under the skin, visceral fat surrounds the organs, disrupts their function, and creates constant inflammation inside the body. This type of fat is directly linked to a higher risk of diabetes, heart disease, stroke, and even certain types of cancer. The worst part is that it often doesn't respond to traditional dieting or hours of exercise, leaving people stuck and frustrated. The main driver behind this problem is insulin resistance. As the body ages, cells become less sensitive to insulin, the hormone that moves sugar from the blood into the cells to be used for energy. When cells resist insulin, sugar stays in the blood longer, and instead of being used, it gets stored as fat, especially in the abdominal area. This is why many people over 40 gain belly fat even if they aren't eating much more food than before. Most people unknowingly make the problem worse by consuming the wrong type of sugar. Refined sugar from soda, pastries, candies, breakfast cereals, and packaged snacks causes sharp spikes in blood glucose and insulin. Each spike signals the body to store fat and prevents it from burning existing fat for energy. Over time, this repeated cycle keeps insulin high, metabolism low, and fat locked around the waist. This is why belly fat continues to grow despite cutting calories or exercising more. The body is trapped in fat storage mode. But not all sugars act the same way. Natural sugars found in whole fruits behave completely differently from processed sugar. Fruits like berries, apples, and pears contain fructose combined with fiber, water, and antioxidants. This combination slows down how sugar enters the bloodstream, prevents sharp insulin spikes, and allows the body to stay in a fat-burning state. Instead of pushing the body into storage mode, these natural sugars support stable energy levels and improve insulin sensitivity over time. Studies show that people who replace refined sugar with fruit-based sugar experience reductions in belly fat, better control of blood glucose, and improved digestion. For example, berries are especially effective because they are low in calories, high in fiber, and rich in compounds that lower inflammation, one of the root causes of fat accumulation around the abdomen. Even bananas or mangoes, often thought of as too sweet, have a completely different effect when eaten as whole fruit compared to processed sugar, because their natural fiber slows absorption and prevents the fat-storing insulin surges. This means that the problem is not sugar itself, but the type of sugar and how it's delivered into the body. Processed sugar drives fat storage. Natural sugar from whole fruits can actually help the body reset metabolism, control appetite, and unlock stored belly fat. For people over 40 struggling with a growing waistline, this simple switch can be the difference between constant frustration and steady fat loss. One of the clearest ways to see this difference is in real life. Take Michael, 52. For years, he struggled with stubborn belly fat. He tried cutting calories, skipping dinner, and even running 3 times a week, but his waistline never changed. Every morning started with coffee and a pastry, and throughout the day, he snacked on granola bars and soft drinks. Even though he wasn't overeating in total calories, the constant spikes of processed sugar kept his insulin high and his body locked in storage mode. After a checkup showed his blood sugar creeping into the pre-diabetic range, he decided to change one thing. He cut out processed sugar and replaced it with whole fruit. Instead of pastries, he had a bowl of Greek yogurt with berries. Instead of soda, he switched to sparkling water with lemon. Instead of candy in the afternoon, he ate an apple or a handful of grapes. Within the first month, his energy stabilized. The constant afternoon crashes disappeared. Within 3 months, his waist dropped 2 inches, his blood sugar normalized, and he noticed his clothes fitting looser. What made the difference wasn't eating less sugar overall. It was changing the type of sugar. By replacing refined sugar with fruit-based natural sugar, he stopped spiking insulin, reduced inflammation, and gave his body the chance to tap into stored fat. His results match what researchers see in clinical studies. When processed sugar is removed and replaced with fiber-rich fruit, belly fat goes down, insulin resistance improves, and long-term fat loss becomes sustainable. This proves the point. 99% of people who make this switch from processed sugar to natural fruit sugar will see measurable changes in belly fat energy levels, and overall health, even without extreme diets or endless exercise. After 40, the body undergoes several metabolic shifts that make belly fat more difficult to control. Muscle mass naturally declines with age, which lowers the overall metabolic rate. Hormones such as testosterone and growth hormone begin to drop, further slowing the body's ability to burn calories and recover. At the same time, cells become less sensitive to insulin, the hormone responsible for moving sugar from the blood into the muscles and organs for energy. When this resistance builds, sugar no longer fuels the body effectively. Instead, it is redirected into fat storage, and most of that fat ends up around the waistline. This is why eating the same foods at 45 or 50 leads to very different results compared to when you were 25. A single can of soda or a slice of cake can now create a much sharper insulin spike and a longer period of fat storage. Over time, these repeated spikes cause a constant elevation of insulin, chronic inflammation, and increased fat around the organs. This hidden fat, known as visceral fat, is not only cosmetically frustrating, but also biologically dangerous. It squeezes the liver, pancreas, and intestines, interfering with their function and dramatically raising the risk of diabetes, heart disease, and even cancer. This is why switching from processed sugar to natural sugar sources after 40 is more than just a diet tip. It's a form of prevention. Whole fruits provide sugar in combination with fiber, water, vitamins, and antioxidants. The fiber slows the release of sugar into the blood, preventing sudden spikes. The antioxidants reduce the oxidative stress and inflammation caused by years of accumulated damage. And the natural nutrients in fruits, like vitamin C, potassium, and polyphenols, help regulate blood pressure, strengthen blood vessels, and improve the way cells use glucose. In practical terms, this means that the same craving for sweetness that once drove weight gain can now be turned into a tool for health. Choosing fruit instead of processed desserts satisfies the taste for sugar, but instead of locking the body in fat storage mode, it stabilizes blood sugar and supports fat-burning pathways. For people over 40, this simple switch can not only shrink belly fat, but also restore energy, sharpen focus, and protect long-term health. So here's the bottom line. After 40, belly fat isn't just a cosmetic issue. It's a clear signal that your metabolism and hormones have shifted, and your body is stuck in fat storage mode. Processed sugar is the #1 driver of this problem. It spikes insulin, blocks fat burning, and feeds the very inflammation that makes belly fat grow. But the solution is simple. Replace the wrong type of sugar with the right one. Whole fruits like berries, apples, and pears provide natural sugars wrapped in fiber, water, and antioxidants that work with your body instead of against it. They stabilize blood sugar, improve insulin sensitivity, and help unlock stored belly fat for energy. Studies and real-life results prove that 99% of people who make this change see measurable improvements: a slimmer waist, better energy, and stronger overall health. You don't need extreme diets or endless workouts. What you need is consistency. 1 bowl of berries instead of a pastry, 1 apple instead of candy, 1 glass of water instead of soda. Small choices compound into big results. 6 months from now, you'll either regret waiting or feel proud knowing you took control and turned your body back into a fat-burning machine. If you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe and tap the notification bell so you don't miss more proven health and fat loss tips. And tell me in the comments. Type yes if you're ready to switch to the right kind of sugar, or no if you're still thinking about it. Your health after 40 isn't out of your hands. It starts with one choice at a time. And the first choice is what kind of sugar you put in your body.